I'd like to welcome everyone. Department and Agency Subcommittee is now in session. It's Tuesday, January 25th, 3 p.m., hearing room 3. It's been a long time. It's good to see all our friends and newbies, so we're going to get back to doing the people's work and try to make this a great state. Lisa, take a roll, please.
Vice Chair Kiesling. Beck.
Here.
Bricken.
Here.
Carr.
Here.
Carringer. Chisholm.
Oh.
Glad you can make it.
Representative Halford. And Chairman Holsclaw.
President.
Chairman Holsclaw, we have a quorum.
Thank you. I reckon getting into this, this committee would not be successful and running smoothly as it does without these people I'm going to announce. Got Elisa Falkenbach, which is our assistant. We have 2 wonderful attorneys, Matt Mundy and Josh Houston. Research analyst Nathan Witt. Library and Archives, Caitlin Bowling. Clerk, Victoria Longworth. Videoing, we have Lance Eastman and Matt Settle. And Sergeant at Arms, Tommy Woodward. So give these people a round of applause because they just want. And now, looking around, we have a committee, minus 1 or 2. You can tell they've got a lot of wisdom by, if you look at the color of their hair. And we'll start over with Kelly and let him tell us who he is, where he's from. You go ahead, you are recognized.
Yep, yeah, I'm on, aren't I? Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate it. Kelly Kiesling from represent House District 38. That's Macon, Clay, Pickett, Scott, and the upper half of Fentress County. The other portion I share with Representative Wendell. We just celebrated with Janet and I celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary this past January. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. This past December, we have 3 children and 7 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. So we are blessed, very much so. So thank you. It's great to serve with you, Chairman, and fellow committee members. Looking forward to a good year. Thank you very much, sir.
Russ, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Rush Bricken from the 47th District. That is Coffee and a third of Warren County and soon to be Grundy County. So this is my second term. I'm also married. I'm about 2 years light of your 50th anniversary, so we're working there with 4 children and 8 grandchildren, and I live in Tullahoma.
Curtis, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Curtis Halford. I represent District 79, which is all of Gibson County, and I share part of Carroll County with Representative Darby. I live in Dyer, Tennessee. My wife is Charlotte. I have 2 children. I have 5 grandchildren. I don't have any grands yet, but, who knows? That may happen soon. So this is my 7th term, and Chairman mentioned white hair, said we had to be a little bit more, what'd you say?
Wisdom.
Anyway, I've got enough wisdom for this to be my last term, so I will see you all later. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next on our list is Mr. Beck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bill Beck. I want to, first of all, welcome everybody to the 51st District here in Nashville, which is my district. This is my 4th term, and my beautiful wife, Pam, just retired from the TPI as Associate Director, and I have 1 child who's getting married in June, so I'm like Curtis, I'm looking forward to being added to that grandparent one category one day, and just to really enjoy this committee and enjoy serving under you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I do have gray hair too, which means I have a wealth of knowledge. But anyway, I'm Dale Carr. I represent the 12th District in Tennessee. That would be the good old Sevier County, your Great Smoky Mountains National Park, and a little lady called Dolly Parton. So I just wanted to bring that out in Pigeon Forge. I'm so proud to be here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And we appreciate you letting us know that we had a little knowledge here, because sometimes we forget it down here, but we remember we are here to do the people's work, and we should listen to them the most of all. But if I may take the pleasure, Mr. Chairman, to introduce you to someone in the audience, please. I have with my intern back at the back is Miss Sherry Sampson, and we're really glad to have her with us this year. So give her a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Carringer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Michelle Carringer, and I represent District 16 in Knoxville. And my husband and I celebrated our 40th this past August with the COVID. So I will never forget the 40th anniversary, let me tell you. So, and there's still debate on who gave it to who, but I say he gave it to me. So there we go. We have been blessed to have 2 grown children, and there's nothing like being a grandparent. So your children, there's nothing like having those children, but I want to tell you what, when people tell you there's nothing like being a grandparent, there is nothing like it. And so we have two girls and a little boy. And just a little comment on this wisdom.
You cover yours up.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Chairman Hostcloth and I just had this conversation week before last, and I said, but my true color is dark headed, and it's very not another color that some of y'all might have thought maybe, but no, it's always been dark. And let me just say, your all's hair coloring is very distinguished looking in you men, and I've told my kids, no matter what happens to me in life, they were responsible for keeping my hair color correct. So my husband, he was jet black, but now he's very distinguished looking also. And so, but anyway, I very much enjoy this. Is my first term, and I very much enjoy being on this committee. Thank you, Chairman Hostcloth, and I'm very honored to be here to serve the great people in the District 16 and the great state of Tennessee. Thank you all.
Representative Chisholm.
Man, I have to follow that. So, I'm Jesse Chisholm. I represent the 85th District in Memphis, Tennessee, Shelby County. I am in my second term, 4th year. No wife yet, no kids yet. Thank you.
So you got no worries.
That's the reason your hair's not white. Representative Hostclaw, District 4, which is Carter and Unicoi County. And I should have a whole lot more white hair than I do with 5 girls and a wife. So, yeah, I can't win. The real question, Beck, is you got any color in that hair there?
Little gray is peeking in there.
So I reckon enough with the fun. So we'll get into it with the calendar. And we do have 5 bills. However, item number 4, HJR 0652, and item number 5, HJR 0653 have been rolled for 2 weeks. And we'll get right into it. We have House Bill 1657 by Faison. You are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I hear a motion and a second, so...
Before I tell you about the bill, I was reminded of all your gray hair talking. There's a verse in Proverbs. I'm inclined to read it to you. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained by living a godly life. Congratulations, boys, girls. Mr. Chairman, committee, when I first got to the legislature, we individually carried premier resort bills, and then in this committee's infinite wisdom, we realized it would be better to put them in an omnibus bill. I beseech the chairman to allow me to run this one before the omnibus bill because we have a golf course that has changed hands, and it's in a situation that because of the new owners, the new name, everything, he's not able to sell alcohol under the old license, and so he's got a golf course and he's hoping to be able to sell beer and do it legally without the ABC cracking down on him, and that's what this bill does. It's a Premier Resort bill for Bainbury, Tennessee.
Questions, comment by the committee? Question on the bill. That's easy enough. That Proverbs played well for you.
Yes, sir.
Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Bill moves on to full.
Thank you, committee chairman.
Moving on to item number 2. We got Mr. Slick, Representative Williams, HB 1685. Got a motion and a second, so you're properly before us.
Thank you, Chairman and members. This bill, several years ago, the legislature decided that it was a good thing to allow for professional soccer to come to Nashville and our great state. What this bill would do would put Nashville Soccer Club on the same level as Memphis Grizzlies, Titans, as well as the Preds, and allow them to sell alcohol on the premises there. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
We do have questions. Representative Beck, you are recognized.
Not so much a question, but a comment. The facility is looking amazing. When anybody who comes up 65, look off to the right, right before you get to Wedgwood, and you can see. I had no idea how awesome this facility would look, and I'm just so excited. Can't wait to see a game there. And thank you for hauling this bill.
Thank you. I had an opportunity to visit the new stadium several weeks ago prior to, because I'm in the construction business and it interests me, and I will say I have been to European League stadiums and stadiums all over the United States to watch soccer, football, as my friends call it. But but this stadium is remarkable. It really is. They've done a fantastic job with it, and so we're excited to see them kick off the first games at home.
Now, with your knowledge, I want to test you here a little bit.
Okay.
Since you toured the stadium, what's the capacity?
It's the largest MLS stadium in America. It seats over 30,000 people. It's based upon an old English design. It's open in the stadium itself is open in the corners. What makes it unique to Nashville is that it has a built-in stage. If you've ever been to a Nashville Soccer Club game, they have guest people, much like they ring the horn at a Preds game. They have someone play a riff on a guitar, a famous person. Of course, you and I, you could probably play a guitar, Chairman, but I can't. But they allow them to do that. And so it's a really, really exciting place. I think the thing that intrigued my family the most, which is why we're supporters, is because you're very close to the sidelines there at the stadium, probably the closest you could get to the players, which is really exciting.
Makes you feel like you're involved.
Exactly.
Other questions, comments? Question on the bill. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Bill moves on to full.
Thank you, Chairman and members.
We're now to line item number 3, SJR 0113. And you are recognized, Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I was wondering if I needed to quote a Bible verse.
You could probably quote several.
I won't do that today. I'll just get right into my House Joint Resolution. We want to encourage the Historical Commission to partner with the local governments and local historical organizations to establish a community remembrance project that will memorialize those documented victims of lynching, is what this House Joint Resolution is all about. And I'm asking this committee for their support. I just recently watched the educational series covering the Emmett Till murder and the history of so many very important people. And Senator Wally and I, because we have in his district and coming up in the district that I'll hope to be representing next time, Mr. Elbert Williams of Haywood County, who died on June the 22nd of 1940. He was the lastly documented as one of the lynching victims in Tennessee. And of course, we wanted to ask for this resolution to honor those victims if this committee would see fit to pass that. Pending any questions.
Do we have any questions? You are recognized, Representative Kelsey.
Thank you, Chairman. Just so I get it, paragraph where it reads, this project centers on the erection of historical markers that memorialize the victims and then also including a factual narrative of the event and background information. Does that mean there will be a marker in every county or just where these victims were from, Johnny, or Representative Shaw, excuse me?
That's okay. Just where the victims are from, not every county, just
Okay.
where the victims are from. And we do have one in Haywood County, yes, sir.
So again,
You are right.
okay. So in memorializing, as I read, it includes a factual narrative of the event. So then that would that narrative then would be held where in the local chamber of commerce or the local historical society, or where would that be?
It could be either or. The local historical society could be the chamber.
Could be left up to the locals. If I may interrupt, I'm sorry, but
Yes.
is that what you meant? Is that what
that
the
is correct.
intent
Yes.
is? Okay, I see. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's
You
all.
are right. Representative Ricken?
Yeah, I guess want to get a clarity on the definition of racial violence on the 154 African Americans. Was it clear that those lynchings were totally outside the law, or, I mean, versus being tried and back then hung? So
You are recognized, Representative Shaw.
The one I'm speaking of, it was totally outside of the law. I do not know, naturally, we don't want to do it for one without it being recognized all over the state. But the one that I'm speaking of, it was totally outside of the law. Man was at his home. He was drug off in the bottom and lynched and left there just because he was a member of the NAACP.
thanks.
I hope that answers your
Yeah, I
question.
just
Yes.
Other questions, comments? Seeing none, we are voting on SJR 0113. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. It's moving on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members.
That has concluded our calendar. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Oh,
Can I take a personal
yes,
privilege
you
real
can take
quick?
a first.
I wanted to recognize my intern, Alicia Sequity, will be with me this session, and we're excited to have you. Make her welcome.
Other personal orders or comments? Do I have a motion to adjourn? We are adjourned.